Yes, it's true. The Hi There Google Home Mini Box is being returned to Texas. Let's find out why. So before I rip a hole into Google, you could see I did a comparison about the Alexa versus the Google Home Mini, and the Google Home Mini definitely has some features that are great. So before we start telling you why I got rid of it, I do think it's a great product. It's a great price point. I thought the speaker on the Google Home Mini was a little better than the Alexa, a little warmer. I also like that the Google Home, you can get multiple versions of them, have them all linked together, kind of like a Sonos wireless speaker. I really like the look of it. I thought the felt top was really nice. The cable management was good. On the power cable though, I don't like that it's only good for the mini home. On the Amazon, you get a little power plug that you can hook any USB into, so that was a little nice bonus. Other than that, I really like that it could play YouTube. That was why I was so excited about it as a YouTuber. I really want to play YouTube. But let me explain to you exactly why it's not necessarily for me. If you are a high-tech person and you have a lot of money, I would say the Google Home is probably still for you. But for somebody who I have no use to have a Google Home and an Amazon Dot, I had to choose one. And if I had to choose today, I chose the Amazon Dot. So first off, my number one reason for returning the Google Mini Home was because of the additional hardware you had to buy. For example, if you want to cast things to your TV, you have to have a Google Chromecast. Now the Chromecast is great, but you also have the Fire Stick. You have other options as well. So now I'm forced to buy this. I don't already own it. So now instead of $50, it's $85 to get the ability to show my own YouTube on my TV. And the way I have my setup now is I use a little mini PC, and I like that because I get an Air mouse, I get everything else. I don't like the application that you get with the Chromecast. I like a fully unlocked experience. So I really don't need a Chromecast, and now I'm buying a Chromecast just for my Google Home, and it's forcing me to do something I'm not necessarily up for. But somebody like my parents or somebody who wants a really easy experience, I could see why this is definitely a great thing. Also, it allows Google to kind of have a stronghold on the experience to make for less hiccups or issues. So I get the reason why. It's just not necessarily good for my application. And then if you want to go 4K, it's an extra $69. So it really goes up in price. Now this was the one that really took the cake though for me, which is the Amazon Dot comes with an auxiliary port. So no matter how old your speakers are, you might already have a home stereo system from a couple years ago that's plenty good, but it came out before Bluetooth technology came out. So you're going to have to buy one of these, a Bluetooth dongle, for your devices to become Bluetooth enabled. Well, I actually have a Logitech Bluetooth controller that I bought specifically for my Logitech 500 watt speakers, and it works great with the Amazon Echo. It could pair straight to it. But when it came time for the Google Home Mini, it can't go directly from your Google Home Mini app to my speakers. I have to buy this, what you're seeing on your screen now. I have to buy a Chromecast audio. So now, it says out of stock, you could get these other places, but now I have an extra $35. So now instead of a $50 investment, it's an $85 investment. And that's a much different story than the Dot here, which all I need to do is buy a little $5 auxiliary cable. Or what I did is my Bluetooth dongle for my Logitech speakers was only $15 to make those speakers smart all of a sudden. So that was the big deal for me, was like, am I ready to invest all this money into Google just to get YouTube? Because that was, again, my biggest selling point on the Google Home Mini was YouTube. And I do think that the Amazon Dot will eventually become YouTube enabled. From what I understand from the feud, Google's side of it was, well, we have really high standards for our app, and the Alexa team isn't quite up to those standards, so we're pulling the app because we don't want people to have a bad YouTube experience. So I get that, but I also think it's an easy way to get out of the whole situation, because I mean, if you look on Amazon right now, you can't buy a Google Home Mini on Amazon, just like Google's not selling the Amazon Dot. So there's definitely some sort of fight going on there. So whether or not the truth is the app isn't ready, or whether or not they're having a fight, I don't know. I think it would be smart of them to kind of, put out that fire and just start letting each other use their apps. But we'll see. I'm optimistic that YouTube will eventually get back on the Dot, so that's why I'm keeping the Dot as well. Moving along, speakers. I really think Google's overall goal is to kind of compete with Sonos. Sonos makes wireless speakers because they want to automate your whole house with audios, not just with music, with movies, with everything. So eventually they're going to want you to buy this Google Home Max. And I also think that's why a lot of the decision making for why they didn't put an auxiliary jack is they're kind of taking the Apple approach where it's like, we want you to buy our stuff. And I mean, it's one thing, it's kind of greedy, but the other way to look at it, you know, to be full disclosure, is that you can control the experience when you own all the hardware, when you're programming all the software for your hardware. So it makes sense that they want you to buy this speaker. So back to the whole debate of, you know, buying the Chromecast and using your own stereo, they eventually want you to get all smart speakers, all smart assistants, and it all kind of goes together. But I'm not going to spend $399. If I'd spend $399, I would keep both $50 things. But like I said, I'm kind of on a budget. I'm paying for this out of my pocket. I'm not sponsored by Google or Amazon. I just want something that works, and right now the Amazon Dot does it for me. The fact that I can use my Pandora and my Spotify, and I can still order things, ask it directions, and all of that. So for those reasons, I'm sticking with the Amazon Dot. Furthermore, Google did mess up. You can see on this review I did, see on the instruction manual, they printed it in the instruction manual on the bottom there.
Talk to your Google Assist.
And you can see me trying it.
Play some YouTube music.
So anyways, I continued to research this, and after watching another video, I noticed that Google actually did pull this feature. And the reason being is that Google was actually listening into your conversations when it wasn't supposed to. So that opens up a whole can of worms. I'm glad they disabled it, but still, it's kind of, to me, it makes like they rushed it to market. What's up with that? You print it in your manual, but you didn't actually release that feature. Maybe it'll be updated in the future. This definitely opens up like privacy issues though. I mean, I don't necessarily think Amazon is the best person either. That's definitely an issue, which is the whole privacy thing. I've come to terms that my privacy has been long gone for many, many years with how many security cameras we have out on the streets and everything else, and how many vloggers we have. Most of what you're doing is being videotaped and recorded. The government's probably listening to you as well. But that's just the world we live in. So let's get off that pessimistic little rant there and get back to the case at hand. So moving back to the case at hand, here's the article: Google junks Home Mini's top touch feature to respect users' privacy. That happened. And lastly, the last reason was that it does not work with your G Suite. One of my big things about this was that it can have my calendar, my day. I can ask it, what time is that again? How long is it going to take me to get there? And I really would like my calendar to be synced into the device. And Amazon, you can actually sync your G Suite calendar in this device. Great, I have it paired right now. On the Google Home Mini, that's actually not available yet. So that was kind of a big thing. Like, come on, Google, this is your product and it doesn't work. Yeah, so that's why I returned the Google Home Mini. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and we'll see you on the next one.